secret play up my sleeve. A touchdown dream you won't believe. It's the game we love the most. The most. Fantasy football, anonymous. We're the ones you can always trust. Breaking stats with a little fuss. Fantasy football anonymous.
Hello and welcome to Fantasy Football's Anonymous, where we are recovering fantasy football addicts who are exactly 0 days clean. Nobody stays clean for long around here because we are hooked on fantasy football. My name is Andrew Mull, and this is my cousin Craig White. We're going to introduce ourselves to you because you don't know who we are. Craig, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Craig. I grew up in a mixture of North
Everywhere
Carolina,
and everywhere.
Tennessee, Florida, and back in the day, Andrew and I lived away for our first 10 years of life. I feel like, and then I feel like we were just best friends after that. And you really got me into football. I think when we were probably 10 years old,
That was your
and
gateway to your addiction.
you really were, not to call you out, but you were. And then, yeah, I'm married. My wife's name is Lisa. We live in Nashville. She's a flight attendant with Delta, and we have our first baby on the way in the next 2 months, a little under 2 months. So,
How excited are you guys right now?
oh my gosh, so excited! I'm like, can he just come today? And she's like, well, let's let him cook a little longer. So we'll give him more time.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
yes, I am Andrew. I'm Craig's cousin. I'm 30. I live in Florida. I got 3 kids, married to a beautiful, wonderful wife, Sasha. And I have been addicted to fantasy. I've been addicted to football as long as I can remember. You probably remember this, but I wore a Buccaneers jersey every single day growing up to the point that I'm a pastor now, and I'll go speak at places, and people will come up to me like, "I remember you. You were the Bucks kid who wore a Bucks jersey every single day." And I'm like, yes, that is the only thing anyone remembers from me because as early as I can remember, I was like, I want to play in the NFL. I want to be a football player. And then,
Was it Joe Juravicious or who was it that you wore?
man, I wore out the jerseys so fast because I would
Yeah,
literally wear them, play football in them, sweat in them, put them in the washing machine that night, dry them that day, wear them the next day. So I mean, I went
Brad
through a Mike
Johnson.
Brad Johnson, Warwick Dunn, Joe Juravicious, Keyshawn Johnson, Michael Vick. None of them I would wear them, like all of the letters would be gone, the number would be gone, the whatever would be gone, and then I would be wearing just a red holed shirt because that was all that was left. So yeah, I wore them as much as I could. And then this was the question I wanted to ask you first. What was the first time you played fantasy football? How old were you, and what was your first fantasy football experience?
It's funny you asked that because I was just thinking about this the other day. Was I've been randomly running into people that I grew up with, like went to high school with, and like one of my friends, Hunter Christian. I don't know if you remember him, and so ran into him at the fair the other day, and I told him. So you really got me hooked on football, I think as a whole. But I told him I was like, you're the reason I'm a Titans fan because I remember like at a young age, like going over to his house and he just had Titan stuff all over and he would talk to me
Mm,
about Samari Roll and things like that, like one of the best cornerbacks of the Titans. And anyway, so he got me into Titans. And so as I was thinking about that, I was like, okay, but when did I start with fantasy football? And I think it was, and I could be wrong because my concussion in college, I feel like there's certain years that are like just blacked out. But I remember in high school, I want to say it was junior year and it might have been before that, and I feel like your memory's better, so maybe you're like, "No, we played fantasy before that," but I remember junior year of high school being in leagues and, like, being at school, and any class that I had access to a computer, I was looking at NFL.com constantly. So,
so you joined with friends in high school. That was the gateway to your addiction.
that's as far back as I can remember, yeah. Do you remember if we played in any leagues before that?
I don't know if we played. So I started playing, I want to say I know for sure I was playing when I was 12 years old. I knew I had played in leagues before that. And I had a friend whose dad had a work league. And I was over at their house and they were playing fantasy football. I was like, what is this? I'm instantly like so interested. And they're like, well, our family's having a league. You want to be in our family league? And in hindsight, I don't know how I stuck with it because it was the weirdest scoring system. It was 1 yard, one passing yard was a point. So running backs was the same as like standard 10 yards,
Mhm.
6 points for a touchdown. I think they did a point for a first down. And I remember like I drafted Priest Holmes and he was the number one scorer across all fantasy, but my team was terrible because if you had Peyton Manning or any of the elite quarterbacks and they threw for 350 yards, that was what is that, 350 points.
Mhm.
And so like it was a super flex league too. So like you
Wow.
could score, and I believe it was 10 points or it was 10 points per touchdown. So there were weeks where it was close to 1,000 points scoring. And if your quarterbacks did bad, like you could have everyone on your team go off and their quarterbacks would each throw for 400 yards and you would lose with the rest of your team going off if your quarterbacks didn't do it. So I remember being like, I'm obsessed with fantasy football and I read literally every time I was allowed on the computer, all I did was read about fantasy football. And I was probably like 8 or 9 years old and I was like completely obsessed, but I never did that league. And I thought that's how fantasy football was. And I was like,
Mm.
this just doesn't make sense. I feel like it should be totally different. And so I think the next year I started my first fantasy league with my friends, which was me just trying to convince them to find access to a computer because it was,
Mhm.
before we all had cell phones and access to the internet at all times. And I think that was the first time I started a league. And so then I had a league going with my friends from the time I was like 9 until I was like 16 every
And
year but I don't think you were in it.
I was gonna say, it's like it gets I have so many questions now that we're talking about this because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, what was the first platform you used or, that I used?"
I was
I
on
feel
Yahoo Sports for the
okay.
first probably 5 years or 6 years. And then I did a couple years on NFL.com. And then I actually like tried to break my addiction. And so I fasted from fantasy football and like didn't do
Remember that.
fantasy football from like my senior year in high school until it was probably about 5 years, maybe it was like 22, 23. And then we did a church league and a family league. And then
Mhm.
at this point, I hadn't done dynasty leagues because I knew I was like, if I do dynasty leagues, I'm already like
It's over.
completely gone for 4 months of the year during
Mhm.
the football season. I was like, if there's a dynasty league, I'm gonna be obsessed. But you were doing dynasty leagues and you were telling me to do dynasty leagues, and I was like, I know I would enjoy it, but I would just spend too much time on it.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting. It would almost be interesting to do trivia right now, like somewhat we take a guess at what year fantasy football started, and I feel like you would know it, but, like, I feel like fantasy baseball was the first, right? That was the first sport that I remember, like, obviously, this was before we had smartphones, so this was, like, on a desktop computer, and it was very old school. I feel like you couldn't even do drafts when we first started online, could you? Like, wasn't it you kinda had to do it in person,
hmm. I think the first time I played was on Yahoo, and I think we did online drafts.
the
I
draft?
don't remember doing. I've never done in-person drafts before.
Okay,
Like besides like people getting together and then doing it all on our phones. But
okay.
there's a
Yeah,
shadow there crossing across your face.
yep. My wife Lisa is, I believe, currently looking for our laptop because we cannot seem to find it, so
Man, have you done in-person drafts? Like no computer, names on a board?
I've done it twice. The last time I can remember doing it was 2016, 2017 when I was living in Dallas.
Wow.
So I was the general manager for the escape game at a location there, and I asked my team. We had a lot of people on the team that liked fantasy football, and so I was like, "Should we do one for the store?" And everyone was like, "Yes." And I kind of took so one of my previous general managers in Nashville, we would do a fantasy football league with our store, and he would draw the draft order out of like a fishbowl, and would put all our names in there, and we draw it out and he would record a hilarious video of the draft order. And so as he would pull it, he would make some comment about the person or whatever. And so I did the same thing for our store in Dallas. I put everybody's names in a jar, drew it, did a video, and then I said, um, "We're gonna do the draft in person. Like it's gonna be a fun like team building type thing." So we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, I believe, or somewhere like that, and we got a draft board and everything. No, it wasn't. It was at, Dave& and Buster's. Dave& and Buster's has those, like, party rooms
Yeah.
that you can rent, and so we had, like, a board, and you had all the names and stuff, and that was so fun. So different, but just so fun.
You
But
being someone who knows fantasy football, did you dominate those drafts in person?
if I remember correctly, yes. There's a few leagues, and I know that I'm sure a ton of people out there feel this too, but work leagues, a lot of times it's people just doing it for fun. And so if you actually know and care about fantasy football and football in general, you're going to do a ton better. Like last night, for example, I shouldn't call people out, but I was in a draft. It was one of my work league drafts. I've been working with this company for 10 years and we've been doing this league ever since. So we've all been in this league for 10 years And some
Is it
people,
Dynasty Redraft or what is
it's a
it?
redraft. Yeah, it's on Yahoo. It's been on Yahoo every time.
On Yahoo.
Yep, and it's been for 10 years, and I've tried to get the commissioner. I've tried to get him to change to Sleeper because that's my favorite, but he is set on Yahoo. And anyway, and it's a half PPR league, and it is super flex. But last night, I realized very quickly who knows fantasy and who doesn't by who they take in the first round. And so I'm FaceTiming with some of my friends that are in the league, and first overall pick is my friend Tyler, and he takes Josh Allen first overall. I'm like, okay, it's a super flex, but still, like that just felt really high. Like you've got Jamar Chase, you've got all of these top, guys, Bijan Robinson. So I don't know. Like
How
obviously we'd
many
have to.
is it 10 or 12 person league?
It's a 10-person league, and so you could make an argument
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's a solid pick. But I'm like,
It
if I have the
it wasn't
101, I'm
it wasn't a kicker.
no. And then, but 102, the quarterbacks just started going because one took it and another took it, and I stayed the course. I didn't fall into the quarterback thing until later on, and I ended up getting didn't love my draft. I had Brock Purdy at quarterback, and who was my second one? Jordan Love, and I took Cam Ward as a Titans fan at the end just to be funny.
You
But
have to.
honestly, I'm a believer. So
Okay. Okay, so you bring up old leagues. I feel like it's so hard to leave a platform when you have that much league history on it. Like just past champions, win loss, transact like all that like it doesn't feel like it's the same league moving. At the same time, I can't imagine who I would join a league. Like it would have to be like a pretty special situation for me not to use Sleeper at this point and to go back to any other platform.
it's interesting because I feel like commissioners are very stubborn and like they like their league. And so like my friend Rob, that was my former boss, he's the commissioner for Yahoo, loves it. He said on that that's the best platform there is. But I'm like, also, have you tried these other ones? And he hasn't. And then my other friend Zach, who actually was in a sleeper league with, I think you were in that league years ago, maybe. No, that was my first year I did Dynasty, and I don't know. Were you in National Dynasty my first year I did that on Sleeper?
No, no.
So yeah,
I
one of
was
my
in the league
friends.
for 3 months at one point though this year.
Yep. And then you just recently dropped out. Yeah. We could talk about that later. But Zach, he is very set on ESPN. And so I've been in that league, and I've talked to you about this league a ton, but it's my high dollar league. Well, at least for me, because it's a $150 buy-in. And he's always wanted to stay with ESPN. He also doesn't do league safe, which I feel like is like the safest way to go. No pun intended. And he always just keeps the money himself. But then it's weird because at the end of the year, when it's time to pay out the winner,
I'm
I've
calling
been
him
the
out right
winner.
now.
I've,
Calling
I
out.
know I've been the winner a few times, and it can take a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah, I definitely would use league safe if I'm a commissioner, just because you don't want anybody to be able to say anything. But that's another decision. And
yeah.
so okay, how many different platforms are you on then? So you're on ESPN, Yahoo, Sleeper. Are you on NFL?
No, I feel like you and I used to be in NFL for a while because the
Yeah,
user interface was nice. But
yeah.
no, but ESPN and NFL have merged now, right? So isn't it kind of the same
I don't know what's going to
app?
happen this year. Is it going to be the same app?
Well, I did a draft. I mean, I say that as if it was one league. I'm in 3 leagues on ESPN right now,
Oh my God.
and
How many leagues total are you in right now?
it's bad. I'd have to count. I want to say at least 13, but it might be 15. And
Oh my
that's
goodness.
not bad. There's guys in some of my leagues, like my friend Nick, you know him. I don't want to say the wrong number, but he's probably in 30 or 40 right now.
My
And
goodness.
that's not even that crazy because in the chats, I'm sure you've seen it. People will be like, "Oh, how many leagues are you in?" And someone will say a number, and they're like, "Oh, I'm in 50," or whatever. So
Yeah.
15 is not that much. How many are
Man,
you in?
I'm only in 5 right now. Only 2 dynasty and then 3 redraft. And so it's less enjoyable the more leagues I join, I feel like. Like unless the group, so you've moved so much and you have like it's like a way to stay connected to people, keep up with people, talk to them, see what's going on in their life. That's completely different. There's like motivation. I've lived in the same town like my whole life. So besides like my one league with some friends who've moved away, playing in like it's a lot of the same people, so it's tougher to it's less enjoyable the more leagues I add, I feel like.
Yeah, I would slightly agree with that because I feel like every year I tell Lisa that I'm gonna trim down, and then somehow I add another league every year. So I'm trying to figure that out. But It's hard to say it's less enjoyable because I'm like, I do enjoy it a lot, but I think, and I've told you this before, I prioritize leagues. So I'm like, some I don't really care about. It's more of just like, it's a free league. I've been in it forever. I'll
Yeah,
do it. But then the leagues, if I'm spending more money or if it's like my favorite league is probably, I've got a few favorites, but one of them is my developmental league, the Devi league that I'm in.
yeah.
And it's just so fun to take people in high school or like when they're becoming a freshman, in college and then seeing them, you know, grow their career.
How much has it changed the way you like watch football and follow college football? Like, I've never really been a huge. I watch college football for who's going to be playing in the NFL, basically, not for the game itself. How has the Devy League and everything changed, or just dynasty and drafting rookies and everything changed the way you watch college or the NFL in general?
Yeah, it's changed it a lot because I've always been, and I probably get this from hanging out with you, but I've always been more of an NFL guy and less of a college football guy too. And so, but then when you draft someone in college, the way that I typically do it, and this is probably cheating, but I'm just Googling about like top prospects coming out of high school, where are they going? And like
That's what everyone does.
obviously, yeah. And so then I look at those prospects and then I look at the teams that they're on, and then I look at previous success, So like Alabama, they have a lot of good running backs. So it's like, can I find the next Derrick Henry? Which that has not worked out a lot. I've drafted like Trey Sanders when he was a freshman. I don't know if you remember him. Who else was there? Oh my gosh, what was his
Ohio
name?
State wide receiver. Ohio State wide
Yes.
receiver.
Yeah, Amika. I've got Amika in so many leagues right now, which I know we can talk about that later. But
I'm gonna.
and then you got Jeremiah that's coming out like what, 2 years from now? They have a solid receiver come out every year. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so it just makes it more fun doing a Devy league because then I'm like I'm invested a little bit more. And so like some guys that I have right now is Eugene Wilson for Florida. Did I say his name right?
I
You don't
have
know
no
him?
idea.
Yeah,
No.
he's supposed to be one of the top receivers this year. He plays for Florida. And the only way I would have known about him was from doing research, taking him early, and now I'm like bought in because he was injured last year. But
Okay.
so anyway, and so now I'm like, okay, where's he going to go in the NFL draft? And so it's fun.
That is cool. What is your absolute favorite fantasy league or team that you have? You said that you prioritize it. Which is the one that's your favorite? The DV league. You just said that. Never mind. You just answered that. I'm
I
asking
mean,
the same
but
question.
but I did say I have multiple favorites, so I think it's that one. It's the league that you and I are in. Well, I guess we're in a few leagues now together, but the one we've been in for a few years. I'm just waiting on a trade to get Justin Jefferson, and then I think
I
I'll
don't know.
be
I don't. I
even
don't think
more.
he's gonna do it. I don't think he's gonna do it.
I know, man. So if that happens, I'm going to be even more ecstatic. But I like that league a lot. And then the Devy League, it's so fun just building up because what you do in that league is you draft kickers and
Yeah, yeah.
then you change their nickname, to the college player. And now almost my entire bench is kicker. Like I've got a really good starting lineup. My starting lineup is incredible. I have no depth because everyone else is basically kickers that won't be playing for a few years. But it's fun like to have guys
Do
like a
you
feeder system.
prioritize the Devi players more than other people in the league because like you're just patient, long run, having fun, or are they more like instant win now?
It just depends. Like my friend Shaq, he is all in right now. Like his team is quite possibly bulletproof. And I would say other people that
I've
might
seen a couple of his teams. A couple of his teams are like Bijan, Gibbs, Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson, Jamar
Jamar
Chase,
Chase.
Brock
Yeah.
Bowers.
It's
His
like
bench is Trey McBride, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry.
yep. And it's like, okay, it's a 12-person league. How did he do that? That's
Yeah,
so
it,
that's but it's
it's
the same way
impressive.
that you do it because all the leagues that I'm in with you, you could say the exact basically every team, every player you just said is one of your teams and one of our leagues too. So
Maybe. Our family league, I liked my draft in our family league. I don't know if you remember who I picked. I got
Ooh,
Bijan in the first and Christian McCaffrey in the second because,
that's
like you
solid.
said, it's a family league. And so Bijan at the 105 and at the turnaround, Christian McCaffrey was still there.
Yeah, getting Bijan at 105 is crazy to me.
But yeah,
And then yeah, having the turnaround and getting Christian McCaffrey. That was actually similar to my draft last night. Not as good because I didn't get Bijan, but I got Gibbs and Christian McCaffrey
it's the same thing.
first and
Yeah.
second. Yeah. So I don't have Bijan in any leagues, which has been a bummer. That would be fun to have. But
Who's your favorite player to have in fantasy?
Jamar Chase. He is by far, if you ask me my rankings, he's number one. What about you?
How many leagues do you have him in?
Of the third, maybe three at this point.
what's the least favorite player to own in fantasy? Like you have him in so many leagues and you're like, I really don't like him. Nobody wants to trade for him, but I can't drop him.
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm gonna have to think on that for a second. Who was your favorite?
Brock Bowers, probably.
Brock Bowers is solid. I just got him in the league that you just bailed on. I just got him in our redraft. I got him at the
No way. Oh,
105
yeah,
or
because you guys were
106.
redrafting that league.
Yep. I got him like 105, 106, 107, somewhere in that range. I can't remember what pick I had.
Okay, well, let's talk about this. So we're in a couple of leagues that are 2 points per reception for tight ends, and it changes the value for tight ends. What are some different modes or scoring systems that are not like mainstream, but you feel like are just absolutely your favorite that you prefer if you were setting up leagues that you would set it up with?
I do like tight end premium a lot. What's the one? There's like you get an extra bonus for first down receptions or whatever
Yeah.
for running backs or wide receivers or tight ends. I think you
Yes.
can choose each position too. That one's fun. Um, I'm in so my ESPN league that I'm in that like is probably one of my top priorities just because it's a more expensive league. That one has the weirdest scoring system. So I don't remember how many points he does for interceptions, but it's a big penalty every interceptions. I've had like, I mean, if you're a Bucks fan and you like Jameis Winston, if you had Jameis Winston that year that he, had to get eye
You were
surgery,
negative.
yeah, like literally, I had multiple weeks. I kid you not, I think I had Jameis that year or someone else similar to him,
My
and I
goodness.
would I would be to a point where I'm like, do I even start a quarterback? Because I would have negative weeks.
My goodness.
I think it was -7 points or something every interception.
And he had some 3 and 4 interception games.
Yep. And then there's also weird scorings with defenses that he does sometimes, and I would get negative points too. So have you been
I'm
in a league
done.
like that?
Yeah, I'm done with defenses and kickers. Like our redraft like family league and church leagues keep them, but they're just I don't feel like there's a lot of skill or talent, or it's just, the worst defense is going to have 2 kick returns. And so I'm not a big fan of keeping those around at this point. But I will say a couple of my favorite things. So especially for Dynasty, like Dynasty has become so draft wide receivers, have wide receivers and quarterbacks, and just don't value running backs at all, barely value tight ends. And so when I had experimented with Dynasty, I was like, it was so like the value was messed up. I remember one orphan team I took over. I traded draft picks and picked up all these old running backs. And so everyone was like, this guy is like giving me picks. He's going to be terrible. All these old running backs. And I won the league 4 years in a row just because everyone valued, I want a young wide receiver. I could trade a bad young wide receiver for running backs who are going to and fill my flex with like actually quality 28-year-old running backs. And so I was like, I played in this league that was a bunch of different guys who were sports writers for different fantasy leagues. And they had 2 tight ends, double points for tight ends, and 1.5 point scoring for catches for running back. With the thought process of in Dynasty, we wanted to try to find a way that you could draft the best young player at any position 101, and scoring wise, it made sense.
Mm.
And so in that scoring, like Brock Bowers is arguably the most valuable player in fantasy. Trey McBride is arguably the second most valuable player. Like you can argue him and Justin Jefferson are because he's going to average 20 plus points per game at a premium position where you have to start two and there's not enough of them. And so it
Hmm.
goes from Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and these young Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. And, they're just so overvalued to now running backs where Jamar Gibbs catching out of the backfield, Bijan Robinson, they average 22, 23, 24 points per game with that extra half a point per reception, where it's
Hmm.
like, yes, wide receivers are going to last longer. They're going to have the longer careers. They're going to be more successful, across if they get traded, go to different teams. They're going to be more consistent, but at what cost for the extra points per game that you're going to get from quarterbacks or from running backs and from tight ends. And so I feel like it creates this more equal value system where you can't just like hog wide receivers and throw a couple running backs out there and be good. What do you think about that? Because you've been in that league now that I have. How do you think about that scoring system?
Yeah, no, I love it. how fantasy football has evolved, and like there's just so many different intricacies that you can do within different leagues. And yeah, you bring up a good point of it kind of raises the value of positions that weren't valued in other leagues. The thing though that with all that kind of stuff that is tough is when you're in 13 leagues and then you can't remember which
Remembering,
one's which.
right?
Yeah.
I understand that.
And so I wish that I wish that everyone was like could just agree on something and we all do it. Or maybe I just need to be in less leagues. But yeah, because that's the tough thing. Because like even my draft last night that I did on Yahoo with that league for 10 years, I was like, man, like what is the scoring system? You know, and I'm like having to
Or you
look
have to
mid
read and
draft.
look it up 100%.
Yep. Yep. And so I'm like, when do I take a tight end? Because like that, I'm like, is this a tight end premium? I don't know. And so I'm like trying to look, and I ended up not taking a tight end until late because it wasn't a tight end premium or anything. But yeah, I don't know. I like that. I like adding value to other positions. Yeah. Is that what's our league that we're in that we've been in for a few years? Is that Dynasty? Is that what that one's called?
Yeah,
That one has two tight ends.
2 tight ends,
Yep.
double reception, and then 1.5 points for running backs per reception, just to make it where Puka Nakua is going to average 16 points per game or whatever. A more mid-tier running back with that extra half point is going to, even if for a shorter shelf life, they have more value and they're more interested. Like you kind of have to have good running backs to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. And your team is so deep in that one. It's fun.
yeah, yeah. I do like that one. Okay, so I sent you something a couple weeks ago. Franchise league mode. Did you look at that? What did you think about that?
Franchise league mode. Yes, I did. Okay, refresh my memory. That's where you have a salary and everything like
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah. Do you think we should try? Should we try a league this year? Get a couple people and give that an attempt. Add
I'm
a
totally
14th
down.
league.
Yeah, seriously. Did you ever join my league years ago that was similar to that? It was like a very old school website. It was like Dynasty. I don't remember what it was called, but like there was no app for it. You had to do it on the web browser, and you had a salary cap and you had to draft people.
I
And
think you sent it to me, but I never did it.
okay, that was my introduction to Dynasty. I did that 1 year, and this was
Okay.
before I knew about Sleeper. Did that 1 year. This would have been 2016, and I invited different people that I thought might be interested. Everyone hated it for the first year, so we couldn't do a second year. So I was like, I need to find like now I'm like hooked, but I need to find something, you know. And so I got to figure out what the name of it was. Like I'm sure I can find it, but it was so cool because you could sign them to certain year contracts too. So you could
Yeah.
sign, Jameer Gibbs to a 4-year contract at this salary. And so it's like Dynasty, but they do expire, and so that was kind of interesting. Is franchise what was it called
Same
again?
same deal. You draft players depending on like where you draft them. So if you find a guy in a later round, you pay them their contract however many years is a lot less versus early picks. It's a lot more. When their contract ends, you can like essentially keep paying them a, a little bit like an increased amount every year or let them hit free agency where everyone bids. And so whatever you bid at, you get that person for that many years and whoever has the high bid wins. So
That's cool. Yeah, we should definitely try that. And that's a free thing you can do, or do you have to pay for a
I think you
subscription?
have to pay. I think you pay like per year. You pay like
Okay.
$10 for the year or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be fun. We can post in the podcast, we can post our drafts and
Yes,
our wins and our losses and how our teams do. How
I like
often
it.
do you win a league every year at least?
That's a great question because if I'm in
Or
13, I should.
you should win at least one, right?
Yeah, I'm in the championship every year in at least one or two. Last year, I was very upset because one of the leagues, my original sleeper dynasty league that I've been in for whenever that started.
Is that the National Dynasty League?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, that was the first one. Uh, I've made it pretty far the last few years, but I finally made it to the championship this past year and should have won. Like I was the best team in the league all year, like most points scored. I think I went undefeated or close to it, and ended up losing to this guy in the championship that barely made the playoffs. And I know all of us have felt this before, where you have like the best team, it feels bulletproof, and then you lose in the championship or you lose in the first round of the playoffs. So thankfully, I made it to the championship, so I still got a payout, but like it was just a bummer. I felt like I for sure had the best team. The crazy thing is, the guy, as soon as he won, he left the league, and that's actually, I think, the team that you took
That's
over.
the team I took over for 3 months.
Yep, exactly. Because he was like, "I did what I came for." He took over a bad team, and his goal was just to take on the challenge of an orphan team that's bad, get them to a good place, win a championship, and then dip, and so he did that. And then the guy that came after him dipped as well.
Yep, sorry about that.
And no, it was great. But yeah, I don't even remember what the question was. How many leagues do I win? So yeah, that one I did not win. I got close. I think I won another league that I'm in last year, but then my ESPN league, I think I was with you at your house when I got knocked out of the playoffs. Maybe do you remember? I think it was Brandon Ayuk. Was that last year?
Yep. Oh, it's a couple years ago. I think that was 2 years ago, but yeah.
2 years ago. That was the game before the championship. Maybe I can't remember where we were at in the playoffs, but anyway, yeah. What about you? How many did you win all your leagues last year?
No, the league we were in, I didn't win. I
Yeah.
lost in the championship. I had that one was tough. That was like you said, bulletproof. All my players spiking at the right time. I was like, oh my goodness, this is. And I scored the sixth most points ever scored in our league, and I lost to Rob Rent. I was so sad. I was so sad. And what hurt is I'm watching the Bucks, and he has like Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and they're just absolutely. And I had Bucky Irving, who got tackled on the 1 yard line like two times, and both times Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans touchdown. So I'm like, that's like a 20-point fantasy swing right there. That 1 yard. But yeah, yeah,
That's
those are
crazy.
tough. Those are tough when you lose in the championship.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you ever feel this where it's like you're a huge Titans fan, right? But when the
Mhm.
Titans win, you get nothing, and when they lose, you lose nothing. But when your fantasy team wins, especially if there's money involved, does it make you care less about the Titans and more about your fantasy team just because there's money involved and like it kind of actually matters to you?
It's funny you asked that because you would think the answer would be yes, but the answer is no. Like, I think I'm always more of a Titans fan than I am a fantasy fan, and no matter how yes, the money is, like, tempting, but no matter how much money is in the league or whatever, like, I would always rather a Titans win, and maybe that's because we were the worst team in the league last year, I don't know, and so, like, I would basically pay money to get a win. Um,
I think I
I
asked you this. Do you remember? I asked you if you would lose. What did I ask you if you would cut off a finger or lose an arm for the Titans to win a Super Bowl? Do you remember that?
yeah,
What did what did you say? I don't want to misquote you.
I don't know what I said back then, but I know I'd probably lose a finger right now if you told me we were gonna win the Super Bowl, and if also you told me I would be at that Super Bowl. That would be pretty awesome.
Oh man. All right. So while we're talking about the Titans, what's their record going to be this year?
Alright, so I'm an optimistic Titans fan, and I'm also some like to say that I'm unrealistic.
Some, most.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
most.
kidding.
So, you know, I would need to pull up our schedule
All right,
again.
you guys played Denver week 1.
Okay, so
Who
here's the
in
thing.
Denver? Who wins in Denver?
Alright, so here's the thing, like, you keep saying the in Denver part as if that's gonna change anything, we're still gonna win. It can be at home, it can be away, but we're gonna win.
Are you just before we keep going? I don't want to waste our time. Are we gonna go 17-0 or are you gonna pick?
I will be realistic, but like I said, some call
There's.
me an
I'm
unrealistic
so
optimist.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Denver is gonna start 1-0 against.
Alright, well, we can agree to disagree, I will remember you said that.
Just real quick, Bo Nix. He was surprisingly good year 1. That
So good.
defense is surprisingly good. I think they got better, right? They added Dre Greenlaw. Who else did they add? They added
Uh,
J.K. Dobbins. I don't know if he was gonna even
yep,
and Harvey.
RJ, yeah.
They ran the ball with no knees Javonte Williams over and over again. So now they're gonna have some. I guess J.K. Dobbins has no knees, but R.J. Harvey has
I
some knees.
I will say it's interesting we're talking about Denver because in of my 13 leagues, if there was a team that I have the most of right now in fantasy, it's probably the Broncos, and I don't know if
Interesting.
that's a good thing or bad thing, but I have a lot of Bo Nix, I have a lot of Sutton, I have a lot of RJ Harvey, so I don't know. I'm optimistic that they're good, I'm just optimistic it starts week 2. So,
Week 2. Okay. So then week 2, Los Angeles Rams in Nashville, home game, home opener.
okay,
Half Matthew Stafford with no back.
that one could go either way. I mean, all of these games could go either way because that's how the NFL is, and there's always surprises. I'm gonna take the L there.
Like week 1 when the Tennessee Titans upset the Denver Broncos.
I think it will be a big upset week 1. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Cam Ward to put the league on notice. Just think about it this way. Will Levis's first game is against the Falcons, and he throws 4 touchdowns that game. He throws 3 of them to DeAndre Hopkins.
Marcus Mariota against the
Marcus
Bucks.
Mariota's first game against the Bucks, we were at
Mariota.
that game. We were at that
Yep.
game in Tampa Bay, and he
That was rough.
dominated.
That was a
So
rough one for me.
all I can say is I have never been more confident in the fact that our
Okay.
our rookie quarterbacks, their first game, they go off.
They are elite for 60 minutes.
I'm telling you right now, I'm starting Cam Ward in every league that I can, and I'm all in on it. Because think about it, the Will Levis's first week, he put up the most fantasy points of any quarterback that week. And next thing you know, an unrealistic Titans fan, I trade for him in every league. I overpay.
I
It's bad.
remember.
And now I'm in rebuild because of it. So
My goodness. So we're 1-0, and then what happens in LA or in
we're
Nashville against LA?
we're gonna say we're 1-1. We lose to the Rams. Puka is too much for us.
But then you get
Although Although I will say L'Jarius Sneed is coming back, and Jarvis Brownlee, he was our rookie cornerback last year. I don't know if you've watched him at all. He is incredible. I think the 2 of them plus Roger McCreary, I think our corners are gonna surprise people. I think our safeties we might have some of the best safeties in the league. We can talk about that later, but I feel pretty confident in that. So I don't know. We might shut down Puka, but he's solid.
off-season hype is such a hard thing when you're a diehard fan because the beat writers have nothing to do but try to get you to come on their website and read long enough for the AdSense to come in. So they have to say something interesting enough. And so every year I fall in love with some player who doesn't even make the roster because some beat writer said they're going to be the next whoever. Oh yeah, yeah. You just dropped Tajay Spears to add him in our family league.
Yeah.
Do you think? I think Austin Eckler. I'm in a draft Thursday night. I'm probably going to pick Austin Eckler earlier than I should because he was an elite fantasy player. He's
He
about to
really
be in an elite fantasy offense. If he gets 50% of the snaps and touches, I think he puts up solid fantasy points.
I agree with that. Running backs is so tough because once they hit that certain age, they fall off. Derrick Henry's an outlier. There's like a few outliers, but
He
I don't know
averaged
if
5
Eckler
yards
is.
per carry last year in
Yeah.
playing like 30-40% of the snaps. So we'll see. All right, week 3, you guys play Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson. You got to win that one.
Yeah, that's it. That's
If
at
you
home, right?
guys are 0-3, that's gonna be pretty rough. 0-2, I could see you guys being 0-2, but like you got to beat the Colts.
Yeah, we'll be 2-1 at that point. I feel pretty confident in that.
I'm gonna say you're 0-3. Okay, week 4, you guys play Houston Texans.
All right, I'm telling you right now, if there's a team I'm not a fan of, it would be the Houston Texans. That is a W for us all the way.
3-1. All right, 3-1. I'm so excited for this.
CJ Stroud has got nothing on Cam Ward. You heard it here first.
Jason Cam Ward. All
Yeah,
right,
our offensive line is so improved.
week 5, Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, I'm gonna call that a loss.
What
There's
on
something
earth?
about NFC. There's something about NFC teams. Now I know we've got Cam Ward, and he is the savior in the future. So some might say we're 5-0 at this point, but I'm trying to be realistic here. So we're gonna say 3-2.
3-2. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. John,
I can't wait to watch this back, and y'all are gonna be like, "Man,
my
he was spot
goodness.
on."
Oh man.
All right, what do you have us at right now? 0
You
and
know,
5.
I have I was on a podcast where they had me do a Bucks prediction for the year that we won the Super Bowl. I want to go back and watch in my prediction and see if I can see if I got any games right.
You better have said that y'all were winning the Super Bowl that year.
I didn't. I did say we were gonna make the playoffs, and I did say that Tyreek Hill was gonna have 200 receiving yards on us in the regular season game. I do remember saying that, and so but I don't remember anything else that I said.
Oh my
All
goodness.
right, week 6, we play the Las Vegas Raiders. Brock Bowers has how many touchdowns? And
Yeah, that game's gonna be interesting because you've got Genty, you've got Jack
he looked,
Besh
they didn't look like they could do anything, that offensive line and Genty.
with the
That's what
preseason. Yeah, that was
running back
rough.
is so team dependent and so scheme and offensive line and game script dependent. So
Yeah,
what
well,
happens week 6? Are you guys 4-2 or 3-3?
we are at this point. Let's see here. I've got us at 4-2, so that is a W all the way. Here's the thing: you've got a Jacoby Myers that wants to get traded. They did pick up
Yep.
Amari Cooper, which he's been solid in fantasy the last few years. Like
It's wild to
he,
be able to add Amari Cooper to your team at that point. Like, why didn't the
yeah,
Titans get him?
yeah. That your guess is as good as mine. I mean, well, it's because our team's already stacked, so we don't need him.
He didn't
But
have any room for Amari Cooper.
yeah, we had to
Okay,
drop
so wait, we're
Xavier
four and
Restrepo.
two.
We are 4-2. You are correct.
Okay,
Yep.
again, now we're playing New
You said
England.
it.
You
I
guys
didn't.
have an easy schedule.
Trust me. That's what. Why do you think I think we're Super Bowl bound? Oh, well, I
Then
don't
why
want
do you
to.
have us? You guys beating the Broncos
Hey,
and
you never know. Mile high. Okay, so Patriots. Okay, Mike Vrabel. Is that a home game for us or is that in New England?
that's home game.
Home
Nissan
game.
Stadium. That's home, right?
Mike
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel is back at home. I think he gets revenge. I hate it, but I think Drake may. I think Travion Henderson. I'm taking him in as many leagues as I can. I think him with Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels offense. I don't know. I feel pretty good about them winning, unfortunately. So now the question though, that brings up a good point. Am I a Mike Vrabel fan more than I am a Titans fan? No, I'm not. I'm not a Patriots fan, but
I
I
have a
do like
question.
Mike Vrabel.
I don't know many people who are like sad when their coach is gone. Like most people, like fan bases get fed up with coaches so quickly. They're ready for them to go. What other percent of other Titans fans miss Mike Vrabel and are still Vrabel fans?
It's probably 75% of us miss Mike Vrabel. The majority of
Wow.
my Titans friends, when I talk to them and we talk about Vrabel or whatever, like we just don't get it. We don't get the firing. And we could do a whole podcast on this, but like the fact that we trade AJ Brown and realize that was a dumb move. So then we fire our GM, but we keep Mike Vrabel, but then bring in another GM that then fire Mike Vrabel to keep that GM. And then another year we fire that GM. And now we've just completely flipped over everything.
Wow.
And with Mike Vrabel, we were the number one seed in the AFC. And we almost made it to the Super Bowl. I remember being in Tampa the year that we watched. It was the Chiefs Titans. We were up like 3 scores on them, 2 or 3 scores on them, and then Patrick Mahomes went off. All that to say, Mike Vrabel could take one of the worst teams and make them the best team. Like players just would run through a brick wall for him. So I think the Patriots are going to have one of the most bounce back years ever because he knows how to get the most out of them. And all these great coaches want to coach with him. Like Josh McDaniels comes and coaches with him. He's got all these great people. I don't remember who his defensive coordinator is, but anyway, all that to say, Titans lose against the Patriots. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be.
Wow.
Yeah,
So they're 5-3 now.
we are
Am I counting
four
that
and
right?
three,
4-3.
4-3. Yeah.
Okay, 4-3, and then you go to Indianapolis.
That one's in Indy. I think we split with them, so I'll say lose. I don't
So
like it. I
this
think
is getting slightly more realistic.
I don't the thing is I hope we don't split with them. I can't stand the Colts. Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones, I can't imagine being a fan of that team. But anyway, I won't talk bad about the Colts here.
4-4 go to Los Angeles Chargers come to town.
Okay, that is a loss. We can move on because now we have a losing record. I don't like that.
Four
But
and
yeah,
five, Houston.
Texans. All right. I said we won earlier in the year, so I guess I have to call this a loss because I also think we split with them. Who I
Four and
don't think we'll
six.
split with. I don't think we'll split with the Jags. I think we'll win both of those games. The Jags
Okay.
are terrible.
Okay. 4-6. Seattle comes to town.
Okay, we win that game.
5-6. Jacksonville, you already said you win. 6-6.
At
In
this point, they
Cleveland.
are starting Shador as my prediction, and it's Cam Ward versus Shador. It's a better game than
Just
we
for the
expect.
ratings, the NFL will make sure that happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that down that Shador will start, and he may not even start. I think he will though. I think Shador starts. So Shador starts, and the Titans just demolish them. It's not even close.
So wait, 6-6. Is that where we're at?
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-6.
7-6. Amazing. Then you guys play San Francisco in San Francisco.
This is a toss-up because the 49ers always get injured, and they are so good if they're healthy. But my goodness, sometimes the injuries just get them. I mean, the Titans we could say the same about us. But what week is that? What week are we on now?
Week 15.
So by this point, Christian McCaffrey's injured. I don't want to wish that on anybody. Let's hope that he's not. But the reality is, there's a good chance someone on that team that's like a main starter is injured. I'm gonna say we win that game.
8-6, beating San Francisco and Denver. Listen, you guys are a playoff team, it's looking like.
Yeah, trust me, we are.
Then Kansas City comes to town.
All right, that is a loss, but
Or not, wait, we're at 9-6.
was that where we're at now?
Wait, no, there's 3 games left. I'm not okay, let's just
16.
keep going.
Okay, I've got 16 games so far, and 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses.
Okay,
So
8-7. Is that right? I
9
don't
and 7.
know.
9 and 7.
Yeah, 9-7. Wait, what? You're beating Kansas City?
No, I put loss.
Lost for Kansas City, New Orleans.
The Saints, I'm gonna say win for sure. Easy.
Okay,
Rattler.
let's say
They just said Rattler's their quarterback. I mean, come on.
that's not. There's no other better option, right? Who else would they put?
Yeah, Tyler Shuck. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't taken him in a single fantasy league.
Okay, so then overall, you're saying 10-7. That's what you're
Oh
calling?
wait, is that our last game of the Saints?
No, then you play Jacksonville,
Oh
which
yeah.
you already said you win.
Okay, so that was 10 wins. 1, 2,
Yeah,
3.
10 wins, 7 losses, right?
Yeah, 10 wins. I feel pretty good about that. I think I am undershooting what the Titans' potential is. I think I should have leaned more
You
towards
are
12
not.
wins,
You are
but
not overshooting.
but let's go with let's go with 10. Okay,
My goodness.
I need to type up your predictions now for the Bucks.
My goodness.
The thing is, realistically, I think the Bucks are contenders this year. I think they have
Yeah,
a really good chance to go far, but I'm curious to see what yours is. Do you want me to track what you say, wins and losses, and you look at the schedule, or do you want to track what you say and I look
sure.
at the schedule?
I'll you track, and I'll look at the schedule. Week 1, Atlanta. Todd Bowles is I think 3-0. Week 1. So we beat Atlanta, get revenge for losing 2 games against them. Even with only 2 of our top 4 wide receivers, no Tristan Wirfs. I think we still beat them.
I would agree.
Week 2, Monday night, Houston Texans. We are not a good primetime game team. I want to beat the Texans, but I don't think we do. I think we lose to the Texans.
I think I disagree, but it could be my AFC South showing. I don't think there's any way they beat y'all. But you want me to put loss for you?
I'm mostly picking the loss because of the primetime game. We have lost like the last 13 or something primetime games. I don't think Baker Mayfield has won a primetime game. So until they win some primetime games, I'm gonna. And I think Houston's a good team. I think they're gonna be better this year. So we'll go loss. I think we beat the Jets. I don't think they're gonna move the ball against us. Or
What do you think about Justin Fields?
I'm drafting him in fantasy because he runs a lot, but I think he's a talented running or quarterback. And I think if he had the right offensive coordinator, the right system that was built for him, I think you have to tailor make that offense for him. You remember like Lamar Jackson's first couple years, they designed an offense for him. I think if Justin Fields was in that kind of offense, then
Yeah.
he
And then he
build the
gets comfortable.
confidence. Yeah, because like he doesn't look confident, he doesn't look comfortable,
Mm-mm.
So
Even like
I don't know if
Marcus.
that's yeah.
So like
All
Marcus
right, all
was
right, all right, Titans fan. All
yeah.
right, all right. But yeah. All right. So I think we're 2-1. Eagles. I think the Eagles are tired of losing to us, but it is in Raymond James. I think we're 2-2. But at this point, Chris Godwin's back and healthy. Jalen McMillan's back. Tristan Wirfs back. I think we're getting healthy. I think we
Mhm.
beat the Seahawks. I think we're 3-2. San Francisco, Detroit. I think we finally beat the 49ers. We keep losing to them. We're 4-2. I think we lose to the Lions because it's prime time. We're 4-3. We beat the Saints. We're 5-3.
Hang
We beat
on.
the
So what's the order? Is it Lions, then 49ers, and Saints that y'all play?
Yeah, 49ers. I'm saying win, Lions, loss, Saints win. I think we beat the Patriots. That's 6-3. Bill. I say we beat the Bills and we lose to the Rams.
Is that in Buffalo or where is that?
It's in Buffalo.
Is it a prime
It's a
time?
it's a 1 o'clock game.
Oh wow. And you said lose?
I think we beat the Bills.
Oh, you said win. Okay.
Yeah, I think we beat the Bills. We lose to the Rams. Beat the Cardinals and Saints. We lose to the Falcons because it's prime time.
Okay, so you're saying the Saints you sweep.
Yeah, I think we sweep the Saints, sweep the Panthers, split the Falcons. I think we beat the Dolphins.
When You said beat the Dolphins. You said beat the Cardinals. Beat the Panthers.
So 12 wins, 5 losses. I think that the Bills game could go either way, and I think we could lose one of those last 4 or 3 games of the season. So, but I think 12-5. I think I think we've been like a 10-11 win team, and I think that we are so much deeper now. Like we've been winning 10-11 games with our like last year we were down to like our third and fourth safety, our third and fourth corner, and we played 3 or 4 games without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So we missed one of our tackles in 6 games last year. So we played with half of our defense. There was like one game where like it was literally like players who were on our practice squad at starting at linebacker, safety, and corner,
That's
and
crazy.
so this is the deepest team. This is probably deeper than the last Super Bowl team. I don't know if it's like better necessarily, but it's deeper than the last. Jason Light, I think he's the best GM in football, probably because I'm a Bucs fan, but we keep finding players. Like we have 2 players who are already out for the year who would have been rotational, like key players that were found in like the 4th round and undrafted free agents and who looked great in the preseason, ACL injuries and whatever. So, but I think we're deep. The
Where's
only good
Go ahead.
only thing that literally the only thing that I see as a weakness besides like injuries, ruin everything, but like is is edge rusher. If Hassan Reddick is a 9 to 10 sack guy, he doesn't have to be a Pro Bowler even, but if he's a 9 to 10 sack guy and Yaya Diaby continues doing what he's been doing, I think we have a great defense. We are going to have a good offense and we'll be good.
Where is Jason Light from? What
New
like
England, I think he was on staff at New England before he
okay,
came.
that's what I thought. So he's kind of that Bill Belichick
Yeah. If
era.
you are a fan of football, in the current is the Buccaneers, their media team produces like a series on the draft, free agency, and it is like it's way better than Hard Knocks. It's way better than anything. And it's really, really good. And so they only release like 4 or 5 episodes a year. But just seeing like the way that they scout and the way that them as a team go about the draft and adding people. They don't really add players, they add people. And so it's been cool. And so like I think some of those great teams had great cultures, great leaders, and didn't have like bad attitudes and rotten people. And that's definitely the culture that Tampa has built top to bottom. And so I'm excited for this year. I think as long as Baker Mayfield stays healthy and we don't have 15 ACL tears, we're gonna probably be close to a 12-win team.
That's awesome. Yeah, Baker has just it's been cool to kind of see him get almost like reawakened. Like he has just turned it on. I don't know if it was the stint that he had, what was it, the Rams right
Yeah.
before y'all. I don't know if that was like Sean McVay or if that was all the Buccaneers offense and coaches there. I don't know
So
what
I
it was.
I didn't think so. I met him, like go to fan things. I met him and like he was like, "Hey, you want an autograph?" And I literally said no because I don't even know if you're gonna make our team. I don't even know if you're gonna be our starting quarterback. I was like, I really did not have high hopes for Baker Mayfield. He's like probably my favorite quarterback we've ever had now, like maybe more than Tom Brady, just because of the person he's been for the community, the leader. He's a man of God. I have just really enjoyed what he's done. But and he's talked a lot about it in different things. Like his pride, his arrogance that he laid down to become like a servant, to be humble, to be, I don't know everything. And he had this very much like, I'm against everyone, like, I'm going to prove everyone. And now he's like taking all the guys out to lunch, dinner, just like created this atmosphere within the team where he's like approachable, he's safe, but he's still inspiring and leading. And so, yeah, I have enjoyed, I have enjoyed him being our quarterback for sure.
Yeah, you just got me fired up. I'm sold out. I'm a Baker fan. I've tried to get him in multiple leagues like late because I feel like he's one of those sleeper names. Like people don't think like, oh, let me draft Baker Mayfield, but he put up insane numbers last year in fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, he put up MVP. He had like an MVP season. And so I don't know how our offense is going to be losing Liam Cohen because for years, we had no creativity in our running game. We really didn't have a lot
Yeah.
of creativity just in our offense in general. And so last year, our offense was like Baker 2 years ago was great under Dave Canales, who's now the Panthers head coach.
Mhm.
but our offense really wasn't super creative. Last year, our offense was defenses were on their toes. Nobody knew what was coming. It was, we were the only team that was top five offense, passing and running. We were really, really good. Now our new coordinator, I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name. I don't remember. It's like Gillis or Gillard or Grizzler or something like that. He
Hmm.
was the guy who did our third down in our red zone offense. So he did all the third downs, and we were the best third down team last year. We were the best red zone team. So I'm like, it's going to be a similar offense, I think. But play calling is like feel and just guessing what the defense is going to do and just time you right. Like last year, Cohen, every time they called the blitz, we had a screen and we crushed it. So I don't know. That's going to be, we'll have to see if our play callers as good, but I think our offense will be fine.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Liam does in Jacksonville with
I don't want him to
Travis
do
Hunter
well.
and yeah, I mean I don't either as a Titans fan, and I don't see the
Did you
Jags
see?
being good,
Did you
but
see what happened with him like leaving Tampa? Did you see all that national news stuff?
no, what happened?
So basically, Jags reached out and said, "Hey, we want to interview for the head coach." He came to the owners and was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know they reached out. I'm going to tell them no." And the owner said, "Hey, we want you to take that interview. We want you to develop that because we want you to be our head coach in a couple years. We want you to develop as like in that interview process, experience that, go through that, hear what they have to say, but like just know we will match any offer. We'll give you more money. We'll make you the highest paid coordinator. You're not leaving us. You're our future head coach, but we want you to take that." So he takes the first meeting, tells them, "I'm not going to take a second meeting," comes back. They try to find anyone else. They can't find anyone else. And they're like, "Hey, will you please take a second meeting?" Then he tells them that his kid is sick and he's not coming to the office when he's supposed to be going to sign the contract. Like they announced it to the media. He's the highest paid coordinator. He signed a contract with Tampa. When he was supposed to be signing that contract, he says, "No, my kid's sick." Goes to Jacksonville, signs a contract with them. And like I went from like a huge fan to like I don't want him to be successful now, which is bad. I should forgive him, but I was pretty upset because
Yeah,
I'm like
I
the
mean,
young offensive coordinator like mind is like the dream coach. Like you want a Sean McVay or a Kyle Shanahan because you just
yeah,
know that's like 15 years of like you're going to be close to a playoff team every year as long as you have a young offensive minded head coach. And he's gone.
man, yeah. Now that you say all that, it's coming back to me. I remember seeing that in the news. That's crazy. I mean, he has
Yeah.
to do what's best for his family. It reminds me of Kevin Durant leaving the Thunder. Felt like he was going to stay there forever, and then he went to the Warriors. But that was way different because he joined the best team. Liam Cohen left y'all from quite possibly one of the best teams in the league and went to a rebuilding team.
It'll be interesting
Interesting.
how he uses like Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter and De'Ami Brown and
I love De'Ami Brown.
Strange. Yeah, Bretton Strange and Travis Etienne. I mean, like he's got some decent weapons. His offensive line isn't as good as it was in Tampa,
Yeah.
but I think Trevor Lawrence. If you're a dynasty guy, you trade for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, his
I think
value's
he's
low right now.
yeah.
Yeah. We should make our picks for week 1.
Okay, let's do it.
And I've got so I in my work at my work, we do every year. I've been doing it the last 3 years. We do weekly picks.
Hmm.
And so we use a website called Pool Host. I don't know if you've ever used that. There's probably better websites for it, but this is just what we use.
Not an ad, not sponsored.
Exactly. So on there, I've got it pulled up right now because I can see my picks that I already made. So I'm going to tell you who I said, but I think what we should do is we have to come to an agreement. And so I'll change my pick and I'll make my picks because the cool thing is we'll see our record, we'll see it all as the season goes with this.
What if we each do our own one and then we see who's more accurate?
We could do that too.
What do you think? Which way should we do it? We're
I
probably going to
kind of
end up coming to an agreement just because we're going to argue about it, and then we'll
yeah,
probably
because
end up picking the same
I
thing.
kind of like the idea of arguing about it and then we have to come to a decision together.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the reality is I'm the one clicking, so if I disagree with you, I'm clicking the team I want. But no, I'm kidding. But I think it would be fun because then it challenges why it makes
Okay. I like
our
it.
picks more intentional.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, so first game Thursday night, September 4th. So exciting to talk about because that's almost a week away.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Home opener, not home opener. The NFL week 1 opener is Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia. I chose the Eagles. It's a home game. Jerry Jones drama lately with Michael Parsons, it's gonna be too much. And I just don't see how the Eagles, the Super Bowl champs, I don't see how they lose to the Cowboys. Do you agree, disagree?
Philly's a weird team. Their offense is weird. They get out of sorts, but yeah, I think if I had to bet that $10, I bet that the Eagles are going to win. But I don't. The Eagles start slow. They're not the most creative offensive team. They have Saquon Barkley, who's really good, and they have AJ Brown, who's really good, but they're not the most creative offensive teams. I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
them and the Bengals feel similar to me. I feel like Joe Burrow and them, sometimes it takes them a while to get going, and then once they're going, it's like, "Oh my gosh, if you could've just done that 5 weeks ago, you would've made the playoffs." Um, yeah. Okay, so Eagles game opener,
yeah.
we're calling that. Alright, next game on the docket is the Bucks in Atlanta. I
Oh,
chose
no,
Tampa
you
Bay.
skip.
You're right. Oh, it goes left to right. Oh my gosh. That's crazy there's a Friday night game. I didn't even expect that.
I'm so
So there's a
happy that there's a Friday night game.
That's incredible. So there's a Thursday and a Friday. They just need to do a game Saturday this year,
I agree.
which I guess they will as the season goes on. But okay, so we've got the Chiefs in LA against the Chargers. I
No, it's in
chose
San Paulo. It's in San Paulo. It's an
that
international game.
on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's calling the Chargers a home game.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember when Jordan Love tore his ACL in the last year or not tore, like
Yes.
they thought he tore his ACL in the last play, I think the Eagles or whatever. Same, I think it's
Yes.
the same kind of setup.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a mess. So it's the Chargers home game, but technically it's in Sao Paulo. That kind of changes things. I had the Chargers winning. I think I still do, but I
Yeah.
don't know. What do you think?
I think the Chargers are going to be a very good football team
Yep,
this
Jim
year,
Harbaugh.
but I think the Chiefs offense is going to be back. I think if I usually am trade away elite dynasty quarterbacks that are not named Josh Allen. I would trade for Patrick Mahomes because I think he's like valued at like quarterback, like I don't know what, 6, 7, 8 in keep trade cut. I think he's going to put up a close to court QB1 season this year. They have Rice, Worthy, Kelsey, Hollywood Brown, and I think that he's like not enjoyed other people getting some of the limelight, and he did not like losing. And I think he's gonna try to put up numbers this year.
I could agree with all of that. I'm also a big Mahomes fan, unfortunately. Travis Kelsey did just get engaged to Taylor Swift.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, y'all. So, who are you saying then? Because I think we just made an argument for both teams.
I think the Chargers play like really, really good, and I'm rooting for them the whole time. And Patrick Mahomes has a late drive for a field goal, and the Chiefs win. That's what I would think, just because
Yeah. It's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes because
it
he
really
does the
is
unthinkable, and they could be down
so
3 scores
annoying.
going into the last drive, what you think's the last drive, and he finds a way. Like, it's just stuff that doesn't make sense. Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna change that to Chiefs then.
because it's international. Because I think Mahomes is on a vengeance this year.
Alright, changing it to the Chiefs. Alright, let's move on to a game that I know you can't wait to get to, the Bucks in Atlanta. I don't even know that we need to spend time talking about this because I said Tampa, you say Tampa. We're good there.
Agreed.
There's gonna be a controversial one coming up soon, which I get to click on, so we've got that one there. Alright, Bengals, Browns is next. I went Bengals. This is in Cleveland, if that changes anything.
I feel like they lose week 1 every year, so it's like
They do, but it's the Browns, and they're starting Joe Flacco.
yeah,
They traded Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel's number 2. They've got Jerry Jeudy. I do like Jerry Jeudy a lot.
me too. Me too.
They've got Judkins, who I think will play week 1, and no,
No,
he's not. Oh,
he hasn't even
Samson,
signed his contract. He hasn't even signed his contract. Judkins,
but he's not injured.
no, but he hasn't. I don't think he signed his contract yet, so he's not even on the team. He hasn't practiced.
That's crazy.
I
Okay,
know.
well, it'll depend on that. Dylan Sampson. Who else do they have at running back that there's a
Ford,
third? Oh yeah, Jerome Ford still. So I just don't see how we bet against the Bengals. I do agree with you. They do always lose week 1, but it's Joe Burrow, it's Jamar Chase,
they
and
should win.
yeah.
They should win.
So we
Okay,
good with Bengals?
Bengals. Yes,
Okay.
we're good with Bengals.
All right, next up, Miami in Indianapolis. Do we even need to talk about this? I mean, it's Tua is healthy. It's week 1. I mean, now it's a matter of will he play the whole game? I don't know. Should he even play the whole game? I don't know. They played him way too much in preseason. It was so hard to watch.
Yeah, I know. Well,
He was
he's
getting
he's a quarterback now. He's like, I'm the quarterback. This is what I do.
but his offensive line didn't look good in preseason. He was getting
Their offense line
sacked,
is not good. Yeah.
and I'm like, I just don't know that it's even smart for him to be playing football. But all that to be said, when he's playing and when he's healthy, he's good.
They should beat
Yeah.
the
All right.
Colts.
Panthers and Jags. This is interesting because this is your division versus mine. I'm going your division here. I don't. I think Bryce Young and Tet and Co beat Travis Hunter and T-Law.
Hmm.
But an argument could be made. It's in Jacksonville. I don't know.
It's in Jacksonville. Cohen's first game, some weapons. I think the Panthers are going to be a running, consistent, like win sloppy type team. But I would probably pick the Jags, but I'm not going to try to get you to change your mind.
I think I can be convinced. I think as you were talking and as
You
I
can.
was thinking about
I'm
the
pretty sure
teams,
I could convince you of it to change your mind on every pick, but no.
yeah,
Tell me why. Tell me
I
more why you think the Panthers.
I just think that as you were talking, I started changing my mind to the Jags because I started thinking about the weapons that they have. Like Brian Thomas really came onto the scene last year. They added Travis Hunter, which is just going to be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's at home. They've got a new offensive coordinator. I don't
If
know.
if their offensive line holds up, which I don't feel like the Panthers' pass rush is good at all, then I think that their offense, they can score 30 points.
Yeah, and it's ETN is their starter right now, or Bigsby, who's going to start at running back?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess both teams' running back situations aren't great because you've got Jonathan Brooks is out for who knows how long.
Chupa Hubbard was pretty good last year.
He was solid. Yeah, this one's a toss-up for me. I think either team is not that great.
Yeah.
I don't like the Jags, which is probably why I would lean towards the Panthers. But I think when you made your case, someone else thought about their team. I think the hype's probably more in Jacksonville, and I think they win.
Okay. I'm interested to see how Travis Hunter does playing and how many plays he plays each way, and
Yeah,
can he stay healthy?
it's going to be fun. All right, next up is Las Vegas Raiders in New England. This one's interesting. I went Raiders.
Really? Why?
I think week 1, I don't know, this could go either way, but I think Ashton Genty, I would agree, did not look great in preseason. Brock Bauer, like their offensive power with getting Amari Cooper. Now, who knows if he'll know the offense? I mean, it's kind of cool. He's joining the team that he got drafted by, 10 years ago, 2015, I think. But Amari Cooper, I really like Jack Besh. Then you've got Jacoby Myers if he stays, Brock Bowers, Pete Carroll. Like, I don't know that we've talked enough about him when we were talking about the Raiders, but like he's an incredible coach. And Geno, I mean, I'm not a Geno fan necessarily. Like, I don't think he's the best quarterback out there, but I just feel like they have enough weapons that I think New England's going to be better this year than they were last year, but I don't think it happens week 1. I think that's going to take more
Okay.
time.
Okay. Raiders it is.
Do you agree? Because, I mean, Drake May and Travion Henderson, you could make a case for, but
I wouldn't be surprised if Vrabel makes them, I don't want to say a playoff team, but like a scrappy, close to playoff team.
would agree. They're going to be in every game they play. Like, they're going to have
Yeah.
a chance every game.
Yeah.
And it is in New England.
Yeah. We'll go Raiders.
Okay, we'll go Raiders. All right, next up, Arizona. So we've got the Cardinals in New Orleans. Who are you taking?
Arizona.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next up, Pittsburgh in New York.
New Orleans is going to draft Arch Manning to replace
Oh my gosh,
Archie Manning.
that is so true. It's all
I think they'll lose the most games this year. They're terrible. And then
we're
Arch
just
Manning,
in a time loop.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, you are so right. He's going to go to New Orleans Saints. You heard it here on August 26th, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Arch Manning to the New Orleans Saints. Saints fans, get your jerseys. You can go ahead and get them right now.
Yes, right
I
now.
believe Fanatics has some deals going. This is not an ad. But all right, let's Great hot take. All right, Pittsburgh in New York. It's the Jets, not the Giants. Is
Pittsburgh.
this
Ooh. Yeah, Pittsburgh.
because I chose Pittsburgh pretty quickly
Pittsburgh
too?
wins 10-7. Pittsburgh wins 10-7.
Yeah, that's very possible. Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator for the Steelers, used to be with the Titans. He did a terrible job as a head coach with the Falcons,
Yeah.
but we all knew that.
He
Like
can
when he
run the
left
ball.
Tennessee, yes. And so I'm just curious with the Steelers with who they've got. What was it? Caleb Johnson they got,
Who
rookie.
looked terrible in the
Yes.
preseason.
Then they still have,
Jalen Warren.
yep. Then they got receivers. They lost Pickens.
DK,
They got DK.
and then they have Calvin Austin
Yep. And then they have Freiermuth, tight end
and
still.
Jonnu Smith.
But yeah, that was the exciting pick, and he looked good last year in Miami.
Roman Wilson. I said Calvin Austin. They have Roman Wilson.
Roman Wilson was a rookie last year. All right, at quarterback, it's Aaron Rodgers starting week 1. They do have Will Howard. I took him late in some fantasy leagues, hopeful that because he played at Ohio State, but I don't know. All that to say, yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh against the Jets because it's the Jets, but Justin Fields will be fun to watch too. I don't know.
The Steelers' defense is going to be incredible. Hightower and Watt and Hayward is going to get pressure, and then you have Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, Joey Porter.
I forgot they got Jalen Ramsey. Oh my gosh.
That secondary and that pass rush is going to be miserable.
Oh, wow, I'm glad we're not playing Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay, we feel good on that one. It's interesting. We haven't had any big arguments. I think there's one coming up soon, but we haven't had any outside of those. That's good. All right. So yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there. All right, the Giants in Washington. I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan. This is okay. You kind of have to have one of those picks each week that no one is going to see coming, and this was it for me. I chose the Giants over the Commanders, even though it's a home game.
Carter looks like the next best pass rusher, and you have him and Brian Burns and Sexy Dexy, and that pass rush is going to be. I mean, if it's 3rd and long, you better throw slants and screens because those. And then what's the other guy's name? Number 5. I couldn't pronounce his name. I don't know.
Oh my gosh!
But that's going to be the best pass rush in all of football, probably. Because they've been lining Abdul at guard. So if you put Dexter Lawrence next to Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, and the other guy on the outside, oh my goodness, it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be scary. And the thing is, the Commanders have an incredible offense. And I feel like their offensive line was pretty solid last year, right? No?
Run blocking better than pass blocking.
Okay.
Jalen was running around a lot.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels just looked so good that's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm kind of curious to see who comes out, but I think the Giants win. I don't know. What do you think? You feel good about that?
When you have that good of a pass rush, Russell Wilson wants to win. Malik Neighbors is pretty good.
He's Jamar Chase 2.0.
2.0?
Might be 3.0. I don't know.
My goodness, you heard it here first. He's going to do 3 times more.
I told you earlier, my number 1 player in fantasy is Jamar Chase. Yours was Brock Bowers. I'm not saying Malik Neighbors is my number 2 right now, but I am saying I'm taking him in every league I can. So I just think last year he was injured here and there, but every game he played, I mean, he had Daniel Jones thrown to him.
Russell Wilson isn't elite, but Russell Wilson throws a good deep ball.
And he's better than Daniel Jones.
He's cooking people deep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sight to see.
He is definitely better than Daniel Jones.
All right, so who are you saying, Giants or Commanders?
I'll go with Giants.
All right, let's do it. That's a fun pick. All right, next game. Do we talk about it now or do we save it for the end? Because I just feel like we might be here all night.
I picked the Denver Broncos. You can pick whoever you want, but I will not be changed. The Denver Broncos.
Do we just want to hear why?
The Denver Broncos in the second half are just going to be running halfback draws because they're going to be just trying to kill a clock for the game to be over.
Okay. We'll make sure that we cut this part of the clip out at some point, and we'll show this the week after the game.
Deal.
I promise you, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Titans fan.
What's the bet? We have to have some kind of punishment. That's what we're going to have.
We can do some type of punishment.
A Mecca Abuka. I get a Mecca
Abuka.
We go.
Okay, but it's got to be a trade that's worth accepting.
And then who do you get?
3 first. Okay, so if I'm right from your team, I mean, I'm gonna have to look at your roster. We can't do that though, because then the league will it's gonna
It'll
look
be a
like
fair trade. We're just not gonna give
okay,
it, but it'll
we'll
be a
make
fair trade. We'll
it'll be a
make it,
fair trade, but we have to accept it, like, we have to do it.
yeah.
That's gonna stink because you have a higher probability that you're right with the Broncos winning,
Really? Really?
but I'm trying to go unbiased with this.
My goodness.
But I really feel confident. Cam Ward, like I said, our rookie quarterback's their first game, they threw up 4 touchdowns. Will the Broncos do more than that?
That
Bo Nix?
defense. Look at that defense, though. Who did
Yeah,
Will Levis do that on?
the Falcons.
And how good was that team that year?
That was, what, 2 years ago? I
They
can't
were
remember.
trash. They were
Yeah,
trash.
yeah. Okay, well, you may have a point there, but moving on, we're going with Tennessee. You heard it here. It's unanimous.
My goodness.
Alright, we'll skip that one. Alright, San Francisco 49ers in Seattle. Who are you taking?
San Fran.
Okay,
Sam
that's who
Darnold's
I
going to be terrible. It's not going to be a good situation.
yep, I could see Seattle and New Orleans being 2 of
Who's
the
their
worst teams.
Seattle's wide receiver too?
JSN, wide receiver 2, that's a great question.
That's it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be
He
tough.
listen. He was successful with one of the best offensive play callers, Justin Jefferson, Gordon Addison, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, and now he's going to JSN and Valdez Scantling, Cooper Cup, and
Cooper Kupp, that's who went there.
Elijah Oyoyo, whatever the
Yep,
Miami
Arroyo,
tight
yep,
end. Yeah,
yep,
yeah, it's gonna
yeah.
be a tough year.
Alright, San Fran wins that one. Now we're going into Detroit against Green Bay in Green Bay. I have my pick locked in. I'm curious to see what yours is, though. For me, this is a similar pick to the Giants-Commanders game.
Yeah, I mean Detroit's they're a really good team, and
I'm
I
going with
understand wanting to go with Green Bay. Like if that sounds like where you're going, that's your upset pick or
it's Matt
whatever.
LaFleur, his offense, and it's in Green Bay. But, the
Yeah,
other question is Jordan Love healthy right now?
they're not a great run defense. Detroit just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs.
I think you've convinced me to switch to Detroit. Detroit is a juggernaut. Like, they are possibly Super Bowl
Yeah,
bound.
they are. Who's their corners this year? Who's their secondary?
The Lions?
Yeah, they still got Kirby at safety, but who are their corners?
They have
I'm
I'm trying to
interested to
remember.
see Matthew Golden, Christian Watson, and all those wide receivers run around. DJ Reed, that's right, they brought him in. They drafted
Yeah.
in the first round a corner. All right, yep, I'm going Lions.
Yeah, I feel pretty good with that pick. It feels like one of those games, though, where when you feel confident, the other team wins, you know? But I do feel really confident.
Packers are a good team, but they don't stop the run great, and the Lions are very difficult to stop running the ball.
Yep. Alright, we went Detroit. Alright, next is Houston in Los Angeles against the Rams. So it's a home game for the Rams against Houston. It's a afternoon game.
If Stafford plays, they win. If not, Houston wins.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I chose Rams. I'm gonna stick with Rams.
Devontae Adams. So here's the thing: Sean McVay has not had a true elite outside win on the outside wide receiver since he's taken over coaching. Like Puka is not line up in a box, beat you on the outside. When Mike Evans was a free agent, they made the biggest offer for him
Mhm.
when they had Cooper Cup and Puka Nacua because they want that outside. And I really feel like Devontae Adams. First off, Matthew Stafford underrated,
Agree.
maybe the best pure thrower of the football in the NFL. You know, I don't know where he's at with his back and everything, but like has been for just such a long time. I think their offense is going to be incredible. I think teams are going to have to do 2 deep safeties. I think Kyron Williams has a great year. I think, yeah, it's a good
Okay.
offense.
I like it. Alright, so we're going Rams. Alright, we got 2 games left. Ravens in Buffalo. Who are you choosing?
I can't wait to watch this game.
Yep, it's gonna be great. Prime
This is
time,
the
Sunday night.
divisional round rematch, right, from last
Yep,
year?
yep, and honestly, Had Mark
Besi
Andrews just caught it, I think an argument can be made that the Ravens would have won the Super Bowl.
Imma be honest, I besides the Bucks, these are the 2 teams I want to win the Super Bowl the most. I want Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson to win a Super Bowl, man. So the Ravens, they just brought in Jair Alexander.
Mhm. They've got DeAndre Hopkins now at receiver, plus Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman.
Keontae Mitchell, am I saying his name right? The running
Mhm.
back's healthy. He was
I mean,
electric 2 years ago.
yep, but Derrick Henry. But yeah.
No, but the thunder and lightning that
Yeah,
you can
between
do with those 2,
it's gonna be insane. And then Lamar.
they're just the MVP, 2-time MVP, Lamar Jackson. So
Yeah.
they need a true X receiver, an outside.
And yeah, and I mean the thing is though, they've got Likely and Mark Andrews, but you are right. DeAndre is gonna be fun with Lamar, but you think he's past his prime? I mean, he's definitely older, but I feel like he's maybe got a little bit left in the tank.
He's not, so Lamar is not a hit the back of his step on time within rhythm. Like, that's not the way they run their offense. And that Hopkins is a timing beat his guy at a phone booth and contested catch. So no, I don't think he's a great fit. Yeah.
That's a yeah.
So, but I don't know. What do I know? I'll probably be wrong. I would say I wish they would go get it like an outside X like Devontae Adams when he was available. I would have rather them go get him an
Mhm.
elite wide receiver.
Okay, so who are you going, Ravens or Bills?
I don't know. You pick. I don't want to pick. I just want to watch
Alright.
that game and enjoy it.
Yeah, I chose Ravens. It's in Buffalo. I think it's a nice week 1 upset because I feel like they're pretty even, like, betting odds have to be pretty even with them, and I feel like the edge is gonna go to Buffalo because it's in home, prime time, but
I think the Ravens have the best, probably the best team maybe in football and the top 3 quarterbacks. So
yeah. So, okay, we're gonna go Baltimore there. Let's move on to the final game of the week. It's a Monday night game. It's Minnesota Vikings in Chicago against the Bears. I went
JJ
Minnesota.
McCarthy, JJ McCarthy looks like the next great young quarterback because he has Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson. He doesn't have Addison week 1, but he's got McConnell calling layups for him, and
Yeah,
that
and
defense is crazy. Did you watch the Vikings defense last year with Brian Flores?
yes, insane.
I Yes. He just did
They
things that like make sense that like I've never seen any other team do, but just make sense.
they were insanely good last year to the point of, like, I thought for sure the Lions were gonna win that division, which they did, right? I think they won their division
I think so, yeah.
because that was a tough division. What is that? Lions, Packers, Vikings, and Bears, and I think I felt really confident going into the year the Lions were gonna win that by a landslide, and it was like I'm pretty sure it came down to the last game of the season, right? I think it was Lions, Vikings, last game of the season, and they may have played in the playoffs too. I feel like they did. But yeah, the Vikings just were the team that quite possibly impressed me the most last year, and Sam Darnold was unbelievable, but you're right, like, it's the receivers. Bill Williams had a bad year last year. I think, like, he has a new offensive coordinator. He has a lot of changes this year. He lost Keenan Allen.
Hot take, I don't think he had a terrible year last year. I think comparing him to Daniels, but he had like I think it was like after the first few games, he had like 20 touchdowns to like 3 interceptions and not terrible completing percentage. I think is like historically, as far as rookie quarterbacks go, like if you give him a second year, I don't think he was terrible. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think he is Patrick Mahomes picking him in dynasty leagues 101, but I think I've
I
been
did
trying to
that.
trade for him. I've been trying to trade for him. So
I took him 101, and then I also am one of the people that just traded him away. Yeah, it's interesting.
their offense is going to score more points because of Ben Johnson this year. They're going to run the ball more effectively. So there's going to be more touchdowns to be scored. And so he's going to pick up 6 or 7 running touchdowns this year just because they're going to have 3rd and goal on the 3 and he's going to do Houdini and get into the end zone. Colston Loveland as the Sam Laporta replacement, that's
Yep,
more red zone touchdowns. I see him having at least 30 touchdowns this season between running and passing, like minimum.
that's awesome. Okay, this just brought up another question for me. We'll close out the chapter of the picks. We've said Minnesota is beating Chicago, but that brings up at least a final question for me. Who benefited more? I don't, maybe that's not the way to word it. Essentially, Ben Johnson going to the the Bears. Did that hurt the Lions more than it helped the Bears is what I'm trying to ask. Like, do you think the Lions are gonna look worse due to that move, or are the Bears gonna look better than the Lions look worse? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so Dan Campbell is an offensive guy. So he doesn't call the plays, but he actually is very involved in creating the offensive system and all of that. I think he's going whoever he picks, whoever he brings in, whatever, it's going to be handpicked. Their offense is not going to take a major step back, I don't think. I believe their quarterback coach is now their offensive coordinator, if I remember correctly. I don't
I
remember.
think so.
So I think they'll be fine. Jared Goff is a pro. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Gibbs is still elite. Their offensive line, they lost a couple. They lost a guy, I think, to retirement. Their center maybe,
Mhm.
but I don't see their offense really because of Dan Campbell and the pieces. I don't see it taking any kind of major step backwards. But yeah, Caleb Williams having a coordinator and a play caller who is gonna 1, 2, 3 throw the ball here and it's automatic 8 yards and scheming people open and not having to create and then letting him do that just on third and longs where
Yeah.
we've seen he can, but instead of trying to do that 30 times a game, trying to do it 4, I think he'll be much more successful.
Okay, I like it.
So
Cool.
it benefited the Bears more than it hurt the Lions, but it didn't hurt the
The Lions will
Lions
still be
that
fine.
much. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
All right, so
Cool.
are we wrapping it up for the night?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. We have no way to monetize this, so if you want to, you can cash up Craig at whatever. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for joining, share our podcast, and we might do this again.
Yeah. Thank y'all.